The music you just heard is your invitation to settle in and prepare for our worship service. Now please put your phones and devices in airplane mode for the duration of the service. This keeps them quiet and helps us provide a higher quality stream for our viewers viewing online. Please know that whoever you are, wherever you're from, whomever you love, and wherever you are on life's journey, you're welcome here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to San Gabriel Unitarian Universal Fellowship. Now, whether you're here in the sanctuary or watching from home, whether you're here for the first time or the 1,000th time, we're glad you could join us this morning. My name's Woody Hibbard. My pronouns are he, him. I've been a member of the fellowship here for about 6 years, and it's my privilege to be your lay leader this morning. San Gabriel is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association. We're a movement working for a just, peaceful, and sustainable world. Sustaining each other in this community is one part of that work. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Eric Hepburn. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm honored to serve as your pulpiteer. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. Today in our water communion ceremony, we're going to try and honor the spirit of that. Please join me in reciting the words to light our chalice. We light this flame to remind us love is the center. As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains. As you get a spare moment, you should each have one of these water communion scripts. I encourage you to just kind of look through it so you've got a preview of what's going to happen, and we're going to walk you through it. So whether you've done this before and are annoyed by the changes, or whether this is your first time and you're annoyed because it's new, welcome together. Let's greet this day in song. Our opening hymn is "O Come, You Longing Thirsty Souls," number 209 in the gray hymnal. Lyrics will be projected. Please rise in body or spirit as you're able. The water communion has been around in Unitarian Universalism since the 1980s. And it has been a religious tradition in this community since its founding in 2007. This is my first water communion with you all, and I've taken the liberty of changing a few things that I hope will deepen both the meaning and the experience of the ceremony. For those new to the ceremony, a brief outline. Congregants collect water in special moments or from special locations, and once a year we bring that water together in the water communion ceremony, and we share it with the community. If you didn't know or didn't think to collect water, or if you did, but it's safe at home, you may use the pitcher of community water here on the table to represent your water. Let me reiterate, there's a community pitcher here. Everyone is invited to celebrate, not just those who knew in advance to bring water. For me, this ceremony at its heart is a blessing ceremony. And so we're going to treat it as such. So the first thing I'm going to invite you to do is to take a moment to think of the water that you hold in your hands or that you hold in your heart. Picturing the time or place from where you collected that water, and ask this question: what blessing did you receive from that water, from that place, from that time? And what blessing does that inspire you to pass on to this community? This is the important part. You may express that blessing in 1, 2, or 3 words. Not sentences, words. And there's a script. Good ritual has a litany. And the litany that we're going to follow today is, I add to this water my water, with blessings of peace and clarity, for example. Okay. Now, we are speaking the blessing into the water, into this bowl in front of us. The microphone is there so that if you wish to say your blessing aloud, others can listen in. But I want you to make the water holy with the kind of attention that you give it. I want you to speak your blessing to this community into the water. If you'd like to do that silently, you can. If you'd like to do it out loud, you're welcome to also speak toward the microphone. Candace and Woody are going to help me demonstrate. We are going to line up single file down the center aisle. I want you to watch my fingers. There's a circulation of water, and for the next little bit, there will be a circulation in this room, and it will look like this: down the center aisle, out to the sides, up the back, converge in the middle, down the front. Are we following? All right, so wherever your seat is, when you move out into the flow, follow the flow. Okay? All right. We're going to line up single file. When you arrive at the front, add your water and speak your blessing.
I add to this water my water with blessings of compassion.
Then you're going to step to the side. You're going to take a pen, a sticky note, and a complimentary vial that we're providing for you to collect your water for next year. So it's a little thing you can put in your glove box or your pocket or your backpack to remind you to be on the lookout for unexpected blessings. And then when you're done, you'll go out. Now, when you get back to your seat, you can take that sticky and you can write all the stuff I didn't let you share. Where your water came from, the story of your vacation, and the blessings. The blessing words need to go on that sticky too. If you need 2 stickies or 3, I don't mind, take them. And write as much as you want to write. And we're going to stick those stickies on the back board over here or the main bulletin board, and Candace and I are going to arrange them into a River of Blessings art piece for next weekend. Woody, I'm going to let you go next.
I add to this water, my water, with all the blessings of life on earth.
We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. As you feel moved to do so, please come up and participate in our water communion ceremony.
I add to this water kindness exchange.
I add to this water, my water, with blessings from the Creator.
I add to this water, my water, blessings of new beginnings.
I add my water from Brushy Creek. Love nature walking. My love.
Good morning. I add to this water the water I didn't collect with blessings of family and travel. I add to this water my water with blessings of conservation and growth.
I add to this water the blessings of forgiveness, love, compassion, and kindness.
I add to this water my water with blessings of hope, courage, and determination.
I add to this water, my water, the blessings of love, peace, and freedom.
I add to this water, my water, with blessings of new beginnings.
I add to this water my water with blessings of acceptance and balance.
I add to this water, my water, the blessings of family, love, connection, and good fun time.
My blessing is the UU Church and the members and all that they have given me over the years.
I add to this water from my dog's water bowl. She's my emotional support animal.
I add to this water my water with blessings of perseverance.
I add to this water, my water, with blessings of serenity, patience, and wisdom.
childhood memories of when on the Atlantic Ocean as a child.
I add to this water my water with blessings of love, kindness, hope. I add love.
Add my water to this water with blessings of kindness and community.
I add to this water my water with blessings of our beautiful planet.
We add to this water the blessing of all water everywhere.
I add to this water my water with blessings of sustenance and nourishment.
This water, my water, with the blessings of health.
I add my water to this water in a vision of hope.
I add this water for the privilege of having clean, safe drinking water.
I add this water with blessings of life and health.
add to this water the blessings of friendship, love, compassion.
I add to this water, my water, the blessings of seasons, cycles, and memories.
I add to this water my water, with blessings of peace and clarity. This is the water from all of our previous water communions. Congregation, please repeat after me. We add to this water the water of all those who have come before. We offer the combined blessings of 18 water communion ceremonies. We are the ones our ancestors dreamed of. The final step of this ceremony will be done as our benediction at the end of the service. Thank you all for your attention, your kindness, your wishes, your blessings. And now Candace is going to share with us the story of the first water communion ceremony and our Wonder Box.
This story lifts up two inspiring UU ancestors, Lucille Shuck Longview and Carolyn McDade, and the history of how and why the ritual of water communion came to be. It reminds us that our belonging is a gift to those who came before us and courageously stood up for wider circles. A long time ago, in the 1970s, there was a kind and curious woman named Lucille Shuck Longview. She was a Unitarian Universalist and loved her UU church in Lexington, Massachusetts. In 1975, Lucille got to travel to Mexico City as a UU delegate to be part of the United Nations Women's Year Assembly. This was a huge meeting where people talked about women's rights and how to make the world more fair. When she came home, Lucille had learned something important. Even in churches, even in her own beloved Unitarian Universalist faith, women's voices weren't always listened to. And that wasn't fair. So Lucille spoke up. She asked other UUs, what if we looked closely at our faith and made sure it truly respected women too? Lots of people agreed. They worked together to create something called the Women and Religion Resolution. It said, let's take a deep look at the words and ideas we use in church and make sure everyone is included, especially women and girls. The resolution was passed by the 1977 General Assembly, and for the next few years, people worked to change our faith tradition's language to be more inclusive of women and to lift up and address the care of Mother Earth as a religious priority. In 1980, as part of this work, Lucille and her friend Carolyn McDade planned a very special gathering just for UU women. They called it Coming Home Like Rivers to the Sea. At that gathering, the women held a beautiful worship service that spoke to our connectedness to one another and to the totality of life and to our place on this planet. They included a new inclusive symbol of women's spirituality, water. And in doing so, they made a brand new ritual, the water communion. Each woman brought a little bit of water from somewhere special, maybe from a river near her home or a place she had traveled, or even her kitchen sink. One by one, the women stood in a circle and poured their water into a big bowl. As they poured, they shared the stories of where their water came from and why it mattered to them. The woman said that water was a powerful symbol. It could come from many different places just like they did, but when they poured their water together, it became one. Just like them, many voices, but one strong community. Some of the women even poured out their perfume bottles to carry the special water home because they wanted to keep that feeling of strength and togetherness close to them. The first water communion helped inspire big changes in the UU faith, like updating our UU principles to use more welcoming language and to remind us to care for the earth. And today, UU congregations all over the world celebrate water communion as a way to feel connected to each other, to our faith, and to the earth. And now it's time for the Wonder Box. I did forget it, you're right. All right, so as you know, this is a brand new month, and each month we explore a different theme in RE. And this month we are exploring building belonging. And each week, our Wonder Box gives us a clue as to how we're specifically exploring that theme this Sunday. So let's take a look. What is it? It's a bowl, yes. It has paper in it. These are water droplets. The bowl. Yeah, made out of paper, that's right. So the bowl represents our Unitarian Universalist community and our community as a whole, and the paper water drops represent all the uniques and special qualities that we bring to our community. Laughter, time, kindness, questions, and curiosity. Each time we add pieces of ourselves to our community, we are building belonging. Just like our drops of water came together to make something bigger and more nourishing, we come together to build a beautiful, welcoming community. So if the youth would like to follow me out and if you'll sing us out, we will explore this theme more at the Little House and Fellowship House.
Sometimes we're carrying something on our heart that can prevent us from being fully present. Here in this community, our sharing of these things with each other is medicine, is part of the healing we hope for and support in one another. And as all good medicine, it must be concentrated to be potent. So we invite you to aim at 2 to 3 strong sentences. So if you're carrying a joy or a sorrow or both on your heart this morning, I invite you to raise your hand for the microphone. Thank you for sharing. And for all that remains unspoken, the love of this community is with you. And now, we're going to do something a little different moving forward for the next few months. After the reading, we're going to have a quiet space for whatever you want to call it. Meditation, reflection, contemplation, prayer. Whatever word works for you. I'm going to let Woody speak here in a minute, and we're just going to sit in some silence together before I start talking. And I didn't want you to think that I just forgot to stand up. Fair? All right. Woody, please lead us in.
And now I invite you to a place of deeper stillness. And after the reading, as Eric said, we will have a period for quiet meditation, contemplation, or prayer. This morning's reading comes from Michael Benedict. Treat stones like plants. Treat plants like animals. Treat animals like humans. Treat strangers like friends. Treat friends like family. Treat family like your own self, and yourself as a sputtering flame of the divine, a bringer of greater life.
We gather today on this first Sunday in September. According to the tradition of this church, that first Sunday is on the same subject as our Connections group. It's a curriculum produced by an organization called Soul Matters, and today we're focusing on building belonging. We had a water communion ceremony that led us into a space of sharing blessings with one another. We did our practice of joys and concerns, and we held space for one another. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. I worked with Michael Benedict, the author of today's shared reading, for almost 20 years at the University of Texas. He died about a month ago, and I got an email earlier this week sharing some things about Michael's life, and this quote from one of his books was in that. And it felt appropriate this morning. Treat stones like plants. Treat plants like animals. Treat animals like humans. Treat strangers like friends. Treat friends like family. Treat family like your own self and yourself as a sputtering flame of the divine, a bringer of greater life. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. As we enter into this new season of small group ministry, I'm called to depart from what y'all are going to read about, which you know I will like. I see a few people grinning at me who have pre-read, and they thought for sure I was going to talk about loneliness this morning, because that's what's in your packet. Loneliness as an introduction into belonging, which, as you know, for me, I find fascinating. I'm always about finding the light in the travel through the shadow. But you're going to get to do that adventure with one another in small group. We're not going to do it this morning. This morning, we're going to talk about the positive way in which we hold space for one another in deep listening. We didn't make this water holy. We spoke our blessings into it, and it mattered, and something was catalyzed, something that matters deeply to all of us. Our wishes and dreams and aspirations and hopes mixed in with those of our neighbors and those of our loved ones and those of our comrades. All those dreams mixed together and swirling. But the holiness was already there. Just like us, every atom in that water bowl is born of the birth and death of a million stars. Just like every atom of you, every quantum of energy that pulses and makes up what you are, was born of the birth and death of a million stars. We hold space to recognize the holy in each other. All deep truths are not true in that casual true or false way, where there's an opposite. They're true in that deep paradoxical way. So we make things holy, but when we're honest, we don't get to take credit for it. We're recognizing the holiness that was always there, asking for our attention, inviting us to see it for its true self, inviting us to see one another for our true selves. We walk around sometimes with our armor on, because life early on taught us that if we didn't armor up, we weren't going to be safe. Some of us have taken our armor off, but we're still covered in scar tissues, and that spiritual hip that got wounded in battle still hurts, and we got a bit of a limp. But what we need from each other is to be made holy by one another's attention. To give the gift of listening deeply when a friend or a colleague or a loved one needs to share. Showing up in that moment is giving the kind of attention that makes the relationship holy. Or shall we say it in the paradoxical way? It shows up and acknowledges the holiness trying to be born that was already and always there. Can we do that for one another? Can we hold space to listen quietly to each other's blessing as we pour through the water of this thing we call life? Can we invite each other into deeper stillness and deeper connection in a time that feels frantic and frenetic? Maybe after we march at the protest, we go and sit quietly in a park or on a porch together. And we're just there for each other, reminding us of the still and holy beauty for which the struggle is worth it. Reminding each other that these connections with one another, these moments of deep intimacy, are the things that the toxic folk crashing the planet are missing. And that we can model what that's like. We can model what it's like to be in harmonious communion with one another. Because you can't mask real joy, folks. And if you learn how to cultivate that joy of presence, that holiness making in your own life, you will be a beacon that says, there might be a less crazy way than this. So my invitation to you this morning is brief. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. I'm not asking you to be stingy with your attention. I'm asking you to be generous with it. Be generous with those you meet this week. Be generous with one another. Be generous in granting yourself the time to be and sit and heal and recover and rest before you charge back into those tasks in your life that just have to get done. Make some kind space for yourself. Remember that your moments here are holy things begging for your attention. We make things holy by the kind of attention we give them. Treat stones like plants. Treat plants like animals. Treat animals like humans. Treat strangers like friends. Treat friends like family. Treat family like your own self. And yourself as a sputtering flame of the divine, a bringer of greater life. Amen.
We take an offering each week to sustain this spiritual home and to support the work of our fellowship. Now, if you're visiting, we invite you to fill out a visitor's card, which you can put in the plate as it comes around, or you can drop it off at the visitor's table in the rear. For the music today, we have You'll Never Walk Alone, performed by Gene Olson. Thank you, Gene. Okay, as we prepare to return to the world, we remind ourselves through our affirmation to carry our work from this place to every corner of our lives. Please join me in the call and response. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer. to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus we do covenant with one another.
Our second hymn is Building Bridges, number 1023 in the teal hymnal. Jean is going to play it through once, and then we're going to sing it through twice. Announcements. Our second Thursday, 2 p.m. book group will meet this coming, second Thursday. We'll meet this coming Thursday, September 11th. Virgie Johnson. Virgie, will you raise your hand? Virgie is hosting this season of the book group. This meeting will be at her home. The address is in your messenger, the little short half-page handout. And this month they're reading Situation Room by George Stephanopoulos. A reminder, about 5 minutes after this service is over, so enough time for you to go grab a cup of coffee, if you're interested in being a lay leader for this season, I'd like you to join me on the stage. We're not going to have a long meeting, but we're going to take 5 minutes together and get a training and meeting and a get-together scheduled to get this year started on the right foot. So if you are or might be interested in lay leading this season, please come up and join us on the stage. It's not a commitment until you decide it is. I'm a minister, not a wrangler. I'm not interested in trying to convince you to do stuff you don't want to do. But I do want to invite you to deepen your connections, your activism, and your engagement here in this thing that we do together. Connections groups are starting this month. If you don't know what that is, please see Candace. She'll get you signed up and get you educated. Small group ministry was a transformative, was and is and has been a transformative part of my spiritual life. If it's something that you've never tried, I encourage you to make a little holy space for it. The rewards are significantly greater than the investment. The Texas Early Music Project will present a program of early medieval and folk music of Britain and the Low Countries on September 20th, 7:30 p.m., and September 21st at 3 p.m. at St. Martin's Lutheran Church in Austin. And Woody, you had an announcement?
Yeah, please. As indicated in the messenger and in the handout you received, our adult RE classes will begin again next week, 9:30 over in the fellowship house. It's a 6-week session on spirituality, and I think you'll find it interesting. And I'd like to take just a second to thank our instructors that helped us out last year, Lou Sneed, John Ray, and Robert DeWester. Thank you for everything you've done for our RE program. Okay, please join me in reciting the words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame to remind us love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains the center. When all we can see is cold ashes, love remains.
This water we save, holding the memory of these blessings we have bestowed today and the blessings that came before. We consecrate this water to hold those blessings until we gather in water communion again. This water we consecrate to our Mother Earth, to the land on which we stand, to the many plants and creatures that are our kin. May this water bless the land, make it sacred, and nourish us all. Amen, and go in peace.